You want to decorate this toolbox with me? My first art class is going to be next Sunday, the 11th, and I am both incredibly nervous and very excited. It has been such a long time since I have gone out to do anything for myself, really. And I gotta say that this past week, I have had some of the absolute worst burnout I think I've ever dealt with to this point. I figured we could hang out, pack up the art supplies that I'll need for Sunday, and put some stickers on this toolbox. So here is my pink toolbox. I got this secondhand off of Poshmark. I think originally it was from Sam's Club. I know that a lot of people use tackle boxes or those plastic boxes you can buy from the art store, but I wanted something that had a little bit more organization to it. So this one has a very nice flat compartment up top and two relatively deep drawers. You can fit a lot of paint in there. I tried to do a test swatch. I wanted to make sure it would take off the Members Mark logo, but not the pink paint. It does. And of course, I just painted my nails, so working with nail polish remover is super fun and not at all really scary. Unfortunately, it did end up taking off a little bit of the pink. There are a couple of spots where I accidentally spilt the acetone, but that's okay because we're gonna cover it in stickers. I actually came across a TikTok where this girl was talking about decorating her toolboxes with stickers, but instead of just putting the stickers on the metal themselves, she put magnets on the back of the stickers, which is genius. One, it makes them super easy to remove if you ever need to clean the toolbox, and two, you can redecorate it. And if you are anything like me, you definitely have sticker placement anxiety. I really want to use this adorable paintbrush ghost. I think he's very fitting. This is a great time to remind you that if you haven't had any water today, you should drink some water. I'm really excited to take this oil painting class, although I have no idea what I'm going to use for a reference. I know for watercolor, we voted on a bunch of categories, and in those categories, 4 or 5 different images, but there was nothing in the oil painting class that said a reference will be provided or we'll be painting a still life or whatever. It just says in the class notes to bring a reference image if you have one. And I really don't know what I want to paint. I've been really inspired by Siobhan Kaufman on Instagram. Her oil paintings are spectacular. If you're not into creepy stuff and body horror, I would not look into her art. I'm usually also not into body horror, but her self-portraits are absolutely stunning. One of my other big oil painting inspirations is Kelly Eden. I really enjoyed the Millennia Girl series that she did a couple of years ago. I actually have a print of Magica Millennia above my dresser. Her attention to detail is so freaking fascinating. I might see if I can put together a still life that's kind of reminiscent of that with the things that I have around my space. One thing I will say is I am kind of bummed out about watercolor class. None of the references that I chose actually made it into the selections for class. And it's kind of a bummer. The sunset that we're doing for week 5 is one of the images that I really like. I don't know. Maybe it's just because I'm not like a sunny beach scene kind of girl, and 3 out of the 6 images are very, well, they're not even very. One of them is a beach house, one is a picnic on the beach, and the other is a sea turtle. On the bright side, this takes care of all of my holiday gift giving. I also finally watched the new Ghostbusters movie, the one with Paul Rudd. It was really fun. I think that Phoebe was perfectly cast. The only thing is that I didn't realize Frozen Empire was the second movie. and not the first until after I had finished watching it. I just really like Paul Rudd, so I just assumed that he was just there. I didn't think anything about it. Didn't question it. Didn't think, oh, maybe I am missing something. I'm gonna have to watch Ghostbusters Afterlife if I can find that streaming somewhere. Really, the only other thing on my plate for this week is the Patreon launch, which no matter how many times I say it, never gets any less weird. Of course, by the time this goes up on Wednesday, it will have already happened, but it's definitely one of those big, scary forward motion steps into going after the career that I want. I've got several other ideas for the future of this Patreon. Hopefully I can crank everything out on the timeline that I have suggested for myself. Trying to figure out how to start a business and working a full-time job doesn't always make for the easiest balancing act. Mostly, I'm just proud of myself for actually giving it a shot. Nothing ever changes until you decide to do something different. I'm sure we'll talk about it later. Right now I'm figuring out how to turn my illustrations into stickers using Procreate. It's a whole process, but the 2 designs that I'm working on, I think, are really cool. I can't wait to actually have a sticker of my own artwork in my hands. I also have to figure out what I'm going to wear to painting class because I have neither painting clothes nor a smock. I guess I could get a smock. That doesn't seem like it would be super hard to do. I mean, not that I think the smock will help me much. I managed to get paint all over myself even when I'm not painting. I'll leave a list in the description of the artists for the stickers that I'm using for my toolbox. Thanks for hanging out with me. Have a great rest of your week, and I will see you guys in the next one.